Black Jack Jonathan Majors. You, of course, get to fuck with any consenting adult you like. And black male celebrities need to be especially smooth in how they choose to make moves. I mean, you gotta watch your back, because America can't have it. It would be like attacking Gresham's law. And the only way for this illusion to work is for the tiniest white speck to be considered more powerful than the heaviest black star. Word to the prophet Yasin, I don't believe in heaven and I ain't trying to get in. We been these descendants of kings. We black men born late into this late 18th century social science experiment based on capitalism and racism, where black lights become red flags when white acolytes begin to admire our strength. Because next they might admire your skin. And then you become anathema to a delicate social structure predicated upon a faulty artificial hierarchy. And these days, you don't even raise too many alarms when you walk in with a white girl on your arm, but even white nationalists begin to wonder, fuck twisted shit you on when you begin saying their daughter could be your Coretta Scott, Betty Shabazz, or Amy Jacques Garvey. Lie. Like, what are we, delusional mentally after all these centuries of them demonstrating that protecting the fantasies of the pharaoh required them to set high-profile examples? Plus, a black man that alienates black women runs the risk of losing his best defense against attempts of getting his name shamed and canceled. It's okay. You can go to the UK, fall in love with a damsel, but you better be sure she gangster 10 toes down before you bring her back around this place where at the wink of an eye she can instantly weaponize her race. Then society will usher your notoriety to a standstill. Fan the flames of your fame to the landfill of falling stars. Bolo calling all cars. They about to castrate Bingo Long, string them up to send a message to the rest of the all-stars. Involuntary role model. Damien, every role you played was all ours, but I guess you lose perspective when you start getting $1 million checks from that feckless cabal of cowards who, like US presidents, are just psycho-fancy pets to the actual syndicate leaders that ultimately hold all the power, and their minions know that the minute it becomes too difficult for them to monetize one of their Negroes, they need to immediately go to the media and say, we do not condone his behavior. We raised that single mother's oldest son to do military commercials that promote trilateral global hegemony and white supremacy, but how the fuck we supposed to do that now that social media and TMZ got him looking like Black Jack Jonathan Majors? Then they rush to interview your exes and try to scrounge up evidence of past domestic abuse so they can run that bot farm and AI-approved cancellation playbook. But fortunately for you, you still got enough resources to sit down with your own PR team who can tell you exactly what type of fake shit you need to say in order to rebound. Like even if it's about as real as a J&J vaccine, just tell them, look, I found Jesus. And Jesus found me a black queen. And that way you can reassume your position in line, reclaim your Tom, Ani, Maxine, get back to your rightful place at the head of the race, your Carl Richardson track team. And speaking of J&J, it's like Puff. America treats us black gold slick as fuck. We talking baby oil, Vaseline. And you have to think, was there such thing as black or white people before America? Prior to American slavery, the world never even knew this concept of race. There was no such thing as a organic solidarity or entitlement just based on the color of somebody's body or face. Then in the 1780s, proponents of the Göttingen School of History began to transition to Christoph Miner's outline of history of mankind, and then the term Caucasian that had been coined to support a theory about cranium size began being used to lump together countless groups of largely contentious and unaffiliated, mostly European tribes. And even though they ranged in color from a pale pink to olive skin, it became more impactful for them to propagandize themselves as being the actual color white. But if you go back to a people's history of the United States with Howard Zinn, you will see at the dawn of this nation, denizens, much like pre-French Revolution Jacobins, had far more common causes to congregate around than just the color of their skin. But then a lot changed from the beginning of the American Revolution with Crispus Attucks to the end of the Civil War and Appomattox. 100 years of laws and economic framework were laid to establish so-called whiteness as a protected and preferred, if not divinely ordained status. And that way oligarchs could continue to siphon land, labor, and capital from common white people and tell them, look, don't worry about what the fuck we're doing to you. Look at them black boys over there trying to take your jobs and fuck your women. Now, you know that's what really matters. in a time when their women were treated as symbols that didn't really matter. I mean, battered white women were largely ignored. They couldn't vote till 1920, couldn't get a credit card, mortgage, or business loan until 1974. And if they were even suspected of lusting after a black dick, whore, could no longer be considered pure. And then it gets way more interesting when you zero into the time just before and after slavery, when white supremacists gained a renewed interest in Kemet, aka Egypt, specifically those 69 to 79 foot tall engraved statues of powerful black dicks that Europeans referred to as obelisks. Then they renamed 3 of them Cleopatra's Needles. Then in 1908, and as if to make them sound more feminine. And then in 1836, they moved one to the Concorde in Paris. Then after slavery, they moved the second to the London Embankment. A couple of years later, they moved the third to New York Central Park, just outside the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Then they built a humongous white replica, put it in the center of the United States National Mall, and called it the Washington Monument. Now that was your 555-foot warning that America is obsessed with color, currency, and dick. So having a big black male celebrity appear to mistreat a white woman on international viral media, it fucks with their power dynamic, Mr. Majors. And this is true long before they came for you. Long before they came for Sammy Davis, for Chuck Berry, Jack Johnson, Stephen Fetcher. Just like Friends for Non's Wretched of the Earth, who you can or cannot fuck, fucks with your and your oppressor's self-worth. Yeah. Did we ever tell you how Malcolm X and Dr. John Henry Clark became friends? Well, Malcolm met Dr. Clark at a black convention standing next to a white woman and was like, yo, you with her? No? Good. Been down that road. Dead end. It's a personal risk. And like I said in the beginning, you get to fuck with any consenting adult you like. And I've been on this earth long enough to know that this world is depressing and lonely, and I feel like anybody is fortunate to find someone to love, regardless as to whether they happen to be classified as black, yellow, brown, or white. But then there are people who have used the bricks of this propaganda to build the foundational walls to protect their very concept of their lowest acceptable value in this life, automatically making you the enemy. Because they were raised to believe that race is something binary with fixed parameters delineated by God, instead of what it is, a rubric for a state-manufactured, programmed identity.